And that's good to know that there are places where people chuckle because you need a breath.
Yeah.
You know, this movie's like.
See, as an audience member, I hate being beat over the head with something that's too serious.
Yeah.
You know, I want gallows humor because if you can laugh about it and find the irony in it, I feel like the more dramatic subject will land stronger.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I've played a cop or two in my career, and probably will continue to. And the thing, when you ask cops like homicide detectives and stuff, you know, how do you guys do this, man? You see the most gruesome, the worst part of humanity, and they go, we laugh, we joke. You know, it's the only way to keep your sanity. So, you know, it's good that it made it into the film.
Well, you had this great scene by the edge of the river, and it's not even just the scene; it's that sort of final shot where you're just kind of
right, yeah.
Without giving anything away to people who haven't seen it, like how do you sort of wrap your head around a scene like that, and given the fact that it just holds on you, and which is kind of uncharacteristic of the way movies work now. It's like they're kind of in a hurry in this one.
Yeah, it was good, and Joe shot it in a wide shot, and you know, people, the studio and the producers were kind of on him to come in, I want to see his eyes. Joe's like, no, we're visitors here. Like, we're going to stay back. And he really had to fight for him. And they really wanted him to shoot a whole other sequence just in case. And for me, it was interesting that day because we shot that at the end of the movie. And for me, I thought, God, what is it? What would I miss? What's my beauty if I had to check out? And for me, wow, I could start to cry. I thought about my kids. If my wife had to walk in and tell my 3 boys that I wasn't coming home, like something happened to me, and it put me in a frame of mind like, okay, she told my kids, I'm done. And I just kept thinking about that, and everything, I would sit down and look at the mountains and stuff and think of my kids, and you know, hopefully it worked. And because it was a scary scene to do, because it was, after all that running and action, I was like, okay, now I got to sit here and act. And you know, again, I've seen it once and it wasn't complete, so I don't know how it works, and I'm a little afraid to see it. But it's Carnahan, you know, like it was kind of actor proof. He wrote a beautiful script, and for whatever people, whether they love Joe or hate Joe, I mean, this made the rounds in Hollywood, and a lot of people wanted to do it, and he picked people for some. I mean, he could have gotten much more high-profile guys than us, but he found something in us that he thought was right. And you know, to his credit, it was hard to fuck it up. It was hard to fuck it up. And when we went away from the script and we tried other things, we always found ourselves coming back to where he originally went, because that's how brilliant this guy is. He really is, I think, way underrated, and if he kept his mouth shut a little bit, I think people would understand him a little bit more.
But you're not going to get that, man. I mean, that's the beauty of Joe.
I know,
it's going to come out one way or another. Yeah. I mean, and the guy is behind all the bluster. Is such a
he's gorgeous.
Soft,
he's a gorgeous guy. He is
artistic man, and I mean, just the way he shot that last scene.
Yeah.
To have the strength and the foresight to say, no, I'm going to leave it from behind, and which, by the way, I think is the strongest thing your character does.
Yeah.
Is to actually make this choice to say, you know what, it's the one moment of control that he has in this entire situation.
Yeah. And when he's thinking about these 2 other guys, it's like, I'm just going to be an anchor at this point. They're definitely going to die, but they're going to die quicker if they hang out with me. So it was a good turning point, and it was a tough day. It was a lot of tears. It was just an emotional day. I think it's because of the end of the film too. We really loved it. We really bonded. So it was the end of the movie.
We cried a lot on set.
Yeah,
there was a lot of crying.
So, Frank, you
2 more minutes.
you tweeted the other day you just accepted a role for Intersection.
Yeah.
Do you know when that goes into production?
I go out to Paris and do some fittings at the end of this month, and then we start February 10th with Brooklyn Decker.
And what role?
I play the guy. Do you know the script?
No.
Yeah, there's only 2 Americans, Brooklyn and I, and 3 Americans, and it's kind of an international cast. But it's a story about me and her, and kind of a thriller. Marconi wrote Enemy of the State. Enemy of the State. He's directing it. It should be fun. Rocco, come over, hang out. Yeah.
Well, after the roles that you guys had last year, I mean, Warrior unfortunately was not seen by as many people.
Yeah, it's starting to. People are starting to see it.
I
Yeah.
think the movie's gonna live for a
Yeah.
little bit.
Are you guys feeling like those opportunities are starting to open up like more, and you're getting higher profile things?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it did wonder. I mean, I think I did 5 or 6 films since Warrior because of Warrior. I got this movie because Carnahan saw Warrior in an early screening and he called me up. I mean, this guy's got like 4 or 5 big movies coming out.
This
so.
guy works. Wait, this guy's the hardest working man.
I have
Frank, what are you doing? He's like, I'm working over here. Where are you? He's like, Shreveport.
Construction. I'm working construction. I have 3 children. That's all I care about. Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, it's been. You know, look, who knows how I don't. You know, I'll take whatever I can get.
It's a strange business, man. You never really understand why this comes at this point and why this comes at this point. I mean, we shot this film a year ago.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
We sit down
exactly.
here with you, and it's not a thing, man.
Yeah.
What is coming up, like, sort of immediately on the horizon for you guys?
For what, coming out? Or
Coming up, like, that you're working on, or?
I'm literally waiting on a phone call to figure out the next 9 months of my fucking life. Got a couple movies coming out this year. Christmas this year is World War Z. It's a big, based on the book World War Z by Max Brooks, and it's Brad Pitt versus the zombies, man, the coming zombie apocalypse, which I gotta tell you,
It's a great script. Matt Carnahan wrote that script.
Yeah, man, and Joe's brother.
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
Also brilliant.
yeah, it's a really, really nice script. I mean, we had to kind of tweak the book a little bit and take a different time period take on it. But you know, nobody ever trains you what to do when you get on set with a zombie. The first time, or Brad. I mean, you sit there and say, "Hey, Brad, how you doing? Oh, wow, you got beautiful eyes."
And by the way, bro, keep that to yourself.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. He knows. He's like, "Hey, look at my eyes." the most. He's just such a pleasure to be around, man. He's one of the guys, and but there's that weird moment when someone says, "All right, we're gonna do a half-speed rehearsal with zombies," and you go, "What?" And all these zombies run out of everywhere, man. It's wild. And I think you got like 3 movies coming out.
I got Lay the Favorite, which is in Sundance, with Stephen Frears directed with Willis and Catherine Zeta-Jones, which is really good. It's really funny, and I get to play an Italian guy from New York. And then Gangster Squad with Penn and Gosling, and this thing called Disconnect with Jason Bateman and Skarsgård and Paul Patton, Andrea Riseborough. And End of Watch with Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. Going to do this thing. And then, I don't know, I'm unemployed.
All right, we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah.